Yo, guys, and as you can tell by the thumbnail and by the title of the video, I am back with another review, but this time it is the Smackdown that happened last night, and I'm going to tell you now, as you can tell by the thumbnail anyways, I did give last night's Smackdown a 5 out of 5 because I personally felt that it was a very, very, very good show from beginning to end. Every match last night was decent to very good. Every segment last night was a very high decent to a very good. So I couldn't not give SmackDown last night a 5 out of 5. Before I speak about anything else, I just want to say quickly in this intro, as quickly as possible, last night's SmackDown was pre-recorded for next week. So there won't actually be a SmackDown live at the time that you guys watch SmackDown, wherever you may be, because it was pre-recorded last night because America are celebrating Thanksgiving on Thursday, the 26th of November. So WWE officials have given the wrestlers that week off up to Survivor Series to celebrate with their family and friends or whoever they may celebrate Thanksgiving with. So there won't actually be SmackDown live. So if you are from the UK, as soon as like midnight comes along on the Saturday night, technically, because technically it's on a Saturday, like early hours in the morning, it will be on Netflix straight away, and you can just watch the full show. You don't have to watch it like in bits. You can just watch the full show as it is. So yeah, I still will do a SmackDown review, of course, because it's the SmackDown before Survivor Series, so they're going to be doing a really good show for the people that were there in attendance last night. So hopefully it's a good show next week, and hopefully there's not too many spoilers. I would keep off Twitter and Facebook, especially for some reason, and TikTok. To be honest with you, if you really, really don't want to see SmackDown spoilers, I would just keep off all social medias, but especially TikTok and Twitter. Facebook can sometimes give you spoilers, so just be careful if you still use that app. And then YouTube doesn't tend to give you spoilers, obviously, and then Instagram not so much. But I would really keep off TikTok and Twitter if you really, really do not want spoilers. I would just keep off those apps. I'm just going to keep off, as much as I can, Facebook and Twitter. I'm going to stay on the other apps, and it's my own fault if it gets spoiled. But I'm hoping it doesn't. But it probably will. But yeah, which is kind of annoying because obviously LA Knight is facing a mystery opponent on the SmackDown last night, so we're going to get spoiled on who that is, which is very annoying if it's someone crazy. But it is what it is because I would rather get spoiled from SmackDown than and then the wrestlers are allowed to, to spend time with their family for Thanksgiving, considering how big of a holiday that is in America. I would rather, the wrestlers get that time off to spend with their family and friends than them having to wrestle the next day after Thanksgiving. I would rather it be pre-recorded and they get to spend time with their family. So I'm not overly bothered. It's just in a way a little bit annoying because obviously we then get spoilers because we're not there in attendance. So it's just that's the only annoying thing about it. But so I just thought I would warn you early on in this video that yes, SmackDown is pre-recorded, so just be careful for spoilers. Do you guys agree with me with a 5 out of 5 SmackDown, or do you believe that it was good, so you gave it a 4 out of 5? Or do you believe it was decent? Could have been better, but yeah, you just felt it was decent. There was a few things you liked, but not that much to give it a good or an amazing rating, so you gave it a 3 out of 5. Or do you believe it was meh? There was like 1 or 2, possibly 3 things that you kind of liked, and it wasn't quite a 1 out of 5, so you gave it a 2 out of 5. Or do you believe that this was the worst SmackDown of the year? You wish the SmackDown never happened. You'll never go watch anything to do with SmackDown again, so you gave it a 1 out of 5. Like I already said, and you can see by the thumbnail, I did give last night's SmackDown a 5 out of 5. And also, quickly, before we kick on with what happened on last night's SmackDown, because I haven't really got much to talk about. I did give it a 5 out of 5 still, but I kind of wanted to enjoy last night's SmackDown, so I didn't write as much as I normally do when it comes to like segments and stuff. I just want to quickly say that you can't see it on my telly because my telly's just out of the view a little bit, but I just want to say thank you for the amount of love and amazing comments and all the likes and the views on my dream WWE Last Time Is Now tournament video that I done. It's currently sitting on the moment at 703, which may not seem like a crazy number when it comes to YouTube views, but for me, that's insane considering the fact that when I started filming YouTube videos again, just before WrestleMania this year, my videos would do like in between like 20 and like 80 views, like 99.9% of the time, which is fantastic. I don't care about the views, or like, no, I'm not, I'm not doing it for that. And I just do it because I love filming videos again, and I got the passion for it to film videos again. But I wasn't expecting that video to do as well as it done. I just came up with that video on the spot that day that I filmed it, and decided to film it on the day that I came up with the idea, because I hadn't seen anybody do a YouTube video on it, haven't seen anyone do any TikTok on it or nothing. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit and just fill out my dream like 16-man tournament for John Cena's Last Time Is Now tournament. And it's done way better than I was expecting it to do. Like, I was not expecting it to do that well, considering my YouTube views are like in between 20 and 80. So I really appreciate it. And if you are watching this right now and you also watched that video and you liked and you commented, I just want to say thank you, and I really appreciate it. And yeah, some of the comments on that under that video like literally like made my day. So you know exactly who you are, who said something about that in a few years. I can't wait to see what kind of matches and bookings you come up with. Like, that comment was like one of the best comments I have ever, no, the best comment I have ever had. So if you're watching this right now, I appreciate you, and you're an absolute legend. A legend. Fucking hell. But yeah, let's kick on with Last Night Smackdown, because my phone is on like 19% and I can't charge it because I've got the microphone port in the my phone. So my microphone obviously films. So I need to try and get this filmed as quickly as possible. So if it's a bit rushed, I'm very sorry. But yeah, let's kick straight on with it. So we kicked off SmackDown with Paul Heyman and the Vision. Braun's gonna take a bit of their asses, apparently. Don't know what Paul Heyman meant by that, but okay. If Braun starts going on all fours and biting their asses, I think I'm going to be a little bit scared and might turn it off if that happens, because I don't really want to see that, but guess we'll have to wait and see. Logan was about to speak but got interrupted by the Usos, and I do find it funny that he deliberately wrote 5 things on his hand, because everyone's obviously talking about it, saying that, oh my god, Logan's copied The Rock and wrote his promos, oh my god, Logan can't remember his lines, but he literally done that on purpose. It's Logan Paul, come on now. Paul said they made a bad mistake because they pissed off Logan Paul, but said it in a very like jokey, funny way. Cody's music hit because obviously the Usos weren't stupid enough to come out alone, just the 2 of them, when there was 4 of them in the ring, because Paul Heyman counted himself for some weird reason, even though he doesn't ever get into physical violence with anyone, but yeah, unless he's attacked. But Cody's music hit, but there was no show of Cody Rhodes. I was a bit like, what the hell's happened? Because obviously Drew's suspended, so he's not actually meant to be step foot in an arena. And what happened was that Drew brutally assaulted Cody on his bus and was left him like laid out across his steps, which just looked absolutely hilarious. I couldn't help myself and laugh, to be honest with you, because that just looked so funny. But yeah, that's how we kicked off SmackDown last night. A little mini segment from the Usos and the Vision and Logan Paul, if he's now officially a part of the Vision. I really don't know. And then obviously we had Drew physically and brutally attack Cody Rhodes in his bus. I did give the segment a low 4 out of 5 because I thought it was a good start to SmackDown, but didn't think it was like really good or amazing. But I did think it was good. So I did give that segment to kick off SmackDown last night a low 4 out of 5. The first match of the night was the US Open Challenge between Ilya Dragunov and the absolute underrated and incredible wrestler in JD McDonough. And I knew as soon as JD McDonough answered this that we were going to get a very good, and not to quote Thomas, but a certified banger of a match, because these two can go, man. Like, yeah, the WWE is in safe hands with a lot of wrestlers on SmackDown. Raw and NXT and even Evolve as well, because there have been so many wrestlers that I've been really like loving lately, and how much I really feel that they should be on the show for more because they're so underrated. And Jaden McDonough is one of them. Like, he is incredible in the ring, man. I feel like if he was able to talk on the mic a lot better, I feel like he would not be in the Judgment Day right now. He'll be off doing something crazy and having big storylines, because he can go, man. Like, he's just incredible, incredible. But yeah, it was very hard hitting from the beginning. Ilya going into the ropes looked fucking horrible. Like, you could hear the sound of the ropes when Ilya hit his face into like the middle slash bottom rope. That sounded and looked horrible. Like, it kind of gave me flashbacks to when Enzo Amore got like knocked out from hitting the ropes. If you remember that, I think it was like in like 2017, 2018. He got chucked into the ropes and it literally like gave him whiplash. It knocked him out. And I honestly got flashbacks from that, from the way that Ilya hit his head. It was, yeah, it was horrible. But luckily he was all right. Well, I think he was anyway. It's Ilya. He would carry on if he had a broken neck, I felt like. Um, so many uppercuts and chops were happening in this match that sounded fucking awful. Like, Jesus. We had a lovely German suplexes by Ilya Dragunov to JD McDonough, of course. We had the tumble to the outside that looked horrible. Like, terrible, but in a good way. That just looked like it didn't go right, but did go right at the same time. It was really weird, but yeah, it looks horrible. We had such a close call, and I mean such a close call to JD's finisher. And I genuinely actually did think that they were going to give the ball, give the ball. It's not fucking football or anything, is it? Jesus. I actually thought they were gonna. Oh my god! I actually thought they were going to give the title to Jada Madonna, and I wouldn't be surprised because because the Judgment Day seemed to, every time they're in title matches, they seem to win them somehow. And I was actually really nervous that they were going to give the title to JD, but then I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, JD's on Raw, and it's a SmackDown title, so that's probably not going to happen. But when we got that, I mean, this much of a near fall to JD's finisher, I was like, oh my god, JD's winning. JD's the United States champion. What the hell? But obviously that didn't end up happening because Ilya Dragunov was able to retain, and I did give it a high 4 out of 5. I didn't think it was quite a 5. I think if it went on for a little bit longer, I think it might have just, got into the 5 out of 5 mark. But for me personally, I did give it a high 4 out of 5, which is still really, really good. Like, it's better than a 1, 2, or a 3, isn't it? So it's still good, but it wasn't quite a 5 out of 5 for me personally. But it was very, very close to be if it went on for another like 5 or 10 minutes longer. Yeah, and then match number 2 of the night was the Last Time Is Now round 1 tournament between Carmella Hayes and Bronson Reed, and I was kind of nervous for this match because I really, really wanted it to be Carmella Hayes. It was very what the fuck? It was very back and forth at the beginning, and then Carmella started to get the upper hand on Bronson, and then the Visions, Logan Paul, and Ron Breaker came out to be by Bronson's side, and Mello was then getting destroyed. And then as Mello again got the upper hand, Logan tripped Mello up, and then eventually Bron was about to spear the living shit out of Carmelo into the barricade, but luckily the Usos came out and stopped it from happening. And then Cody Rhodes, out of fucking nowhere, came out from the crowd and curb stomped. What the fuck? That's Seth Rollins. This is the Seth Rollins post up there, and I was looking at him. Oh my god. No, crossroads the living shit out of Bronson Reed, and Bronson was counted out, and Carmelo Hayes has advanced to the quarterfinals and will go one-on-one with Gunther. Which, I don't know about that one. I'm trying to you. I'm very 50-50. Like, I'm not like team like Gunther or team Carmella Hayes to like win. I'm like very 50-50 on not who I personally think who I want to win. As in, like, I don't know who's going to win that. I really don't. They could shock us with Carmella winning. It could just be Gunther. So I really don't know. But that will be happening on Monday Night Raw, the match between Carmella Hayes and Gunther. So yeah, I'm nervous for that one, but also excited. I did give the match itself a moderate 3 out of 5. I didn't think it was like a very high decent or a good or amazing match, but I didn't think it was a 1 or 2. So I did give it like the middle of a 3 out of 5. So yeah, did give the match itself a moderate 3 out of 5. We had a segment between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, like a little sit down, because Charlotte was tricked into speaking to Rhea by Alexa, and they had like a little one-on-one sit down, and Rhea said that if there's anybody that I would want to go to war with, it's you, because of our past history of going to war together to see who is the best. We can touch down on that a little bit later, maybe, but if there was anyone to be on my side for this World Games match, it would be you. And Charlotte said, I don't trust you, but let's do this. And she accepted the offer of Rhea accepted the offer by Rhea to join the Women's War Games next Saturday and a week today, and shook hands with Rhea, and Charlotte Flair was officially a part of the Women's War Games. I'm going to get into some stuff to do with the Women's War Games, but obviously not now. I will get into that when I do my Smackdown Survivor Series prediction video, because I have some theories on the Women's War Games that I feel may happen. So yeah. Okay, right. The last match we're going to speak about, because I didn't write down the tag team match. It was a good tag team match between Fraction and DIY, but I just personally didn't write it down and want to speak about it. So the last match we're going to talk about is the second round of the first round, but the second match, I mean, of the Last Time Is Now tournament between Finn Balor and Penta. Finn tried to jump Penta before the bell, but it didn't work. Penta knew that was going to happen. So yeah, that didn't work. And then we had a fantastic dive to the outside by Penta. Finn started mocking the Penta struck, the little like smooth operator dance that he does. Well, not dance, walk to the ring that he does. Yeah, Finn started mocking that, which was quite funny, to be honest with you, because he cannot do it. Like, he's not got good feet coordination, Finn Balor, because he just couldn't do it. We had nasty looking chops by Penta to Finn Balor that sounded and looked horrendous. I don't think chops ever don't look horrendous, to be honest with you. I think everybody that does chops to one another, it sounds and looks horrible, and I would never want to take a chop from anybody. Like, no. But yeah, chops just sound and look horrendous. But Penta was able to advance in this Last Time Is Now tournament with the Mexican Destroyer, and will go one-on-one with Solo Sikoa on Monday Night Raw in a couple of days' time. And that was the last match of the night. I did write down here that SmackDown is postponed. But I will say again, just one more time, if you've watched this far, remember that SmackDown was pre-recorded for next week. So the crowd last night got a 4-hour SmackDown instead of a 2-hour SmackDown, because America is celebrating Thanksgiving on Thursday the 26th. So obviously a lot of the wrestlers would have to travel to the next town on the Thursday, which means that they wouldn't get to celebrate Thanksgiving with their friends and family or whoever they may celebrate Thanksgiving with. So WWE decided to give the wrestlers that day off and not have to fly to the next town straight on the day of Thanksgiving or straight after Thanksgiving, because obviously they're going to be drinking a lot. So WWE have decided to give them, the SmackDown superstars, the time off. So there won't be a SmackDown being live streamed last night, but as soon as it turns midnight, you'll be able to watch the SmackDown from beginning to end, and there will be no ads, and you'll be able to skip bits if you want to skip it, because it will be just all on there straight away. It won't be like live. You'll just be able to watch the whole episode straight away as soon as it hits midnight. So I would, again, like I said earlier, just keep off social media if you really do not want spoilers for next week's SmackDown, because you have to remember that it is the SmackDown before Survivor Series. So if you want no spoilers, I would just keep off every app. Which is really annoying, but at the same time, like I've already said in this video earlier, I would rather the WWE superstars get to spend time with their family and friends on Thanksgiving and not have to worry about traveling up to do a show than them have to do a show and not spend time with their family, because family is more important and friends are more important. So I don't mind because of what the circumstances is, but at the same time is a little bit annoying because we're going to get a lot of spoilers. I haven't yet, which is good, so I'm just going to try and not get spoilers, but I probably will, but it is what it is. But anyways, the main event of last night's SmackDown was not a match. The last match of the night was the Finn Balor and Penta match for the last SummerSlam tournament, but the actual last segment of the night was the Women's War Games segment, because obviously Charlotte officially joined Rhea's team, so we now have Charlotte, Alexa, Io, and Rhea as part of the baby faces, and the heels didn't realize how united the baby faces are. And that's what Rhea said, sorry. And then Rhea also said that she wanted to make sure she was going into War Games with the right people, and she felt that these 4 people right here were the right people. And then Rhea feels she can trust Charlotte and Alexa, and she's hoping that they can also trust her. And then she introduced, it wasn't a very long segment because it happened at like, I don't know, like 52 minutes past, so it was like almost time for the SmackDown to actually end, so I knew it was going to be quite a quick segment, and not that much of a brawl. But Rhea did announce that the 5th person, a part of her team, alongside Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair, will be none other than AJ Lee. So we are getting AJ Lee, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, and Alexa Bliss on the same team, which is just fucking insane that we're getting those 5 personalities, legends, probably the 5 most loved superstars in the WWE Women's Division right now, all in the same War Games team together. Like it's actually quite insane to think that we've got the interaction of Alexa and AJ happening, an interaction between Charlotte Flair and AJ, an interaction between Io Sky and AJ, and interactions between Rhea Ripley and AJ Lee. Like it's actually quite mind blowing that those 5 are in the ring together. But I knew as soon as AJ was announced as the 5th member of War Games, which is really crazy to think that AJ's second match back in WWE in over 10 years' time is going to be a War Games match. Like she is definition of crazy. Like the first match she had was a mixed tag team with her husband, so she didn't have to have the majority of the match because it wasn't even a one-on-one match; it was a mixed tag. So she didn't even have like the majority of the match in that WrestlePalooza, and she hasn't wrestled since September. And then 2 months later, she's stepping into a War Games scenario against a new wrestler in Lash Legend, who's absolutely insane in the ring, Nia Jax, who can be a bit of a liability sometimes, Kairi Sane, who can also be a bit of a liability sometimes, Asuka, who's just fucking incredible in the ring. And then, as AJ was making her way down to the ring, I knew that this was going to happen. It was very obvious. The way that she was skipping to the ring was not really skipping. She was really like petrified because she knew that Becky was going to obviously come jump her. And that's exactly what happened. Becky Lynch jumped AJ Lee before she could even get into the ring. And Becky Lynch officially joined the Heels War Games team alongside Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Kairi Sane, and Asuka. And AJ is in the ring with the 4 that she's on the same team with, and then she's going up against those 5 in her second match back in WWE. Is she okay? Like, is AJ actually alright? Like, what are you doing? Like, this is literally your second match back in WWE, and you're already throwing yourself into a War Games. It's just incredible. And I'm glad that she's in it because like we're getting to see AJ be in the same ring with all these like liability and incredible wrestlers. But it's just a bit like, oh my god, like AJ is in a War Games for a second match against some hard hitting and liability wrestlers. It's a bit scary in a way. I can't lie to you, but yeah, the Survivor Series is stacked. I'm going to say now, quickly, I did end up giving the segment a high 3 out of 5 because I felt that Rhea delivered a decent promo. And then obviously AJ being announced as the fifth member, and then Becky attacking AJ out of nowhere, and then helping the heels to stand tall. I did really enjoy that, so I did give it a high 3 out of 5. Didn't think it was a good or a amazing segment, but it was still a very decent segment. But yeah, Survivor Series is absolutely stacked, guys. Absolutely stacked. We have, and I don't think we're going to get another match official. I mean, we could possibly get another match official, but I doubt it. But so I think we have 4 matches, so we might get another match official. Actually, I don't know, maybe not. But anyways, we have obviously Dominic Mysterio going 1-on-1 with John Cena in his last ever pay-per-view. PLE match, which is quite insane that they've given it to Dominic, and will be quite a big honour for Dominic to, obviously he is going to be John Cena's last ever opponent at a pay-per-view, PLE, oh my god, I keep calling it a pay-per-view, which is quite actually insane to think about, that the last ever opponent that John Cena is going to face at a PLE is going to be Dominic Mysterio. It's quite insane for Dominic, and they clearly trust Dominic very, very well. So we've got that match happening, obviously in Dominic's hometown of San Diego, California. And then we have obviously Nikki Bella going 1-on-1 with Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's World Championship. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not that excited for the match, but it's going to be very intriguing and interesting to see where they go, because they could just give Stephanie a short title reign and give it to Nikki for a little bit to, because obviously this is her last run, so that's a possibility. So it is a possibility. And then obviously we've got the Women's War Games, which is absolutely stacked and just insane. I'm actually going to say that on Team Rhea Ripley, we have obviously Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and AJ Lee. Like, that's literally a dream 5 that you would do on WWE Universe mode. Like, and we're actually getting to see them all in the ring together. Is incredible, insane, and mind-blowing. Going up against Lash Legend, Nia Jax, Kairi Sane, Asuka, and Becky Lynch. Like, what 10 women, to be honest with you. I know some of them can be a bit of liability at time, but also they can have good matches. So it's honestly, it's insane. It's insane. And then we also have the men's War Games. I'm pretty sure we're going to get another match official, but I don't know what that will be. But I'm hoping that Ilya Dragunov does an US Open Challenge at Survivor Series. I feel like that would be really, really cool to do. So that could be like the 5th match, because it doesn't have to be very long. It could be like a 15-minute match. So I really hope that they do that, because that would be really cool. Really, really cool. But I don't know. Anyways, the men's War Games is obviously on Team CM Punk, is obviously CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Roman Reigns, which is an incredible team in itself, and I'm very looking forward to those 5 being in the same ring together. And they're going up against the team of Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. Like, we've got Brock Lesnar in a War Games. As much as I hate Brock Lesnar, it is quite insane that we're getting Brock Lesnar in a War Games scenario, and it's going to be fucking insane and crazy, and I'm so scared for all the other 5 people that Brock's got to go up against. Because I'm scared for the 5 people who have got to go up against Brock Lesnar in the 5 people that are obviously on the good team, because Brock in a normal one-on-one match where there's no cage involved is scary enough. So now that he's locked in a War Game scenario with these 5 other wrestlers is like, oh my god, help me. I've got to deal with Nia Jax and AJ and Lash Legend and Kairi Sane in the same ring together, and I'm going to be like so nervous for AJ. And then I've also got to deal with CM Punk being in a War Game scenario with not only Brock Lesnar but also Drew fucking McIntyre, who hates CM Punk, and also Bron Breakker and Bronson and Logan, to be honest with you. Like, honestly, the 2 War Games matches are definitely the best War Games matches that they've ever done. I'm sorry, but they are, because the names that are in these War Games is just absolutely insane, and we are in for hopefully a banger of 2 War Games matches. And then even the other 2 matches are very crazy that we even getting them as well. Like, Nikki Bella having a Women's World Championship match against Stephanie Vaquer was not on my bingo card at all. Like, if you said to me last year that Nikki Bella's going to go one-on-one in San Diego at Survivor Series against Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's World Championship, I would have been like, what the fuck are you going on about? I would have laughed in your face. And then we're getting Dominic Mysterio versus John Cena, who's currently the Intercontinental Champion. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, the Survivor Series is insane. And then hopefully they add the 5th match, and the 5th match is Ilya Dragunov doing a US Open challenge, and then maybe Chris Jericho answers. That would be insane. Because if you notice on last week's, this week's Monday Night Raw, in the bit where they're showing you San Diego where they're playing the War Pig song, there's a slight change in the music, and it goes from War Pigs to Chris Jericho's countdown music to his theme song. If you really give it a listen, which is quite insane. So if Ilya Dragunov does do a US Open challenge, I can see it being answered by Chris Jericho, or Chris Jericho just comes out at the end of Survivor Series like CM Punk did, and then somebody else answers the call to Ilya Dragunov. But I don't know. I feel like we're going to get a 5th match announced, but I just don't know what that will be yet. But anyways, guys, this video hasn't been as long as I expected it to be, considering I did obviously give last SmackDown a 5 out of 5, but SmackDown's a 2-hour show when Raw's like just a little bit longer. So there's more kind of to talk about when it comes to Raw sometimes, but there was obviously a lot of funny segments and good, decent segments, and another match in the tag team match last night that happened between Faction and DIY that was very decent, and a lot of segments, like I said, were decent and very good. But I just wanted to write down like the main points to do with last night's SmackDown last night, and also my phone is flashed up like about 10-15 minutes ago. It was on 15%, so I kind of needed to rush this a little bit. So sorry if the matches and me speaking about stuff that was going on was a little bit rushed in this week's video, but yeah, guys, like I said in previous video, I will be doing a Survivor Series prediction video. That will most likely be filmed on, oh god, I've got to think, because Stranger Things season 5 comes out on Wednesday next week. Well, Wednesday, but at 1 a.m. on a Thursday in the morning. So I'm going to be very Stranger Things head, so it's going to be very difficult to do a Survivor Series. So I might do the Survivor Series match predictions on. I won't be doing it Wednesday because I'll be too excited for Survivors for Stranger Things. I probably will do it Monday. Yeah, I think I'll do my Survivor Series predictions on Monday for the 4 matches that we have got made official so far. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my Survivor Series video on Monday, so a couple of days from this video. And then on Wednesday, I have a Stranger Things haul coming out of all things Stranger Things that I have in my collection. Some behind me right now. So if you like Stranger Things and you've watched up to this point, that video will be out on Wednesday. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is just under an hour long because I have so much to show. So if you have a spare hour on that day and you want to just, want the hour to go as quickly as possible, go ahead and watch that Stranger Things haul. If you like Stranger Things. And then also on obviously Tuesday there will be the Raw Before Survivor Series review out. And then I know, like I've said a few times now, but SmackDown is pre-recorded. I still will be doing a SmackDown Before Survivor Series, even if I get loads of spoilers. I still will going to be watching it from beginning to end as normal, and I still will do a review for you guys as normal anyway. So there'll also be a SmackDown Before Survivor Series coming out on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday there will be the Survivor Series review out, and then the Raw and SmackDown after Survivor Series, and then we're on to Saturday Night's Main Event, John Cena's last ever match, which is insane that it's literally 3 weeks today. Yeah, it's insane. Anyways, guys, I also want to say sorry that the quality is like kind of a bit like a yellowy grey hint. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, this is Charlie, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.